After riding a super ferry from Cebu, we are now here in Tagbilaran City Seaport. The port of Tagbilaran is the city's main seaport and is located on the northern edge of the city. Travelers to and from Bohol uses the port as its main mode of entry, more so than the airport. The port attends to more or less 5,000 passengers daily coming from Cebu on board. Fast crafts and regular ferries coming from Cagayan de Oro, Iligan, Palog, Dumaguete, Cebu and Manila. Philippines. To the west of Bohol is Cebu, to the northeast is the island of Leyte, and to the south, across the Bohol Sea, is Mindanao. The province of Bohol is a first-class province divided into 3 congressional districts, comprising 1 component city and 47 municipalities. It has 1,109 barangays. Now we are here in blood compact site. The Sandugo was a blood compact, performed in the island of Bohol in the Philippines, between the Spanish explorer Miguel Lopez de Legazpi and Daisicatuna, the chieftain of Bohol, on March 16, 1565, to seal their friendship as part of the tribal tradition. This is considered as the first treaty of friendship between the Spaniards and Filipinos. Sandug is a Visayan word which means one blood. The Sandugo is depicted in both the provincial flag and the official seal of the government in Bohol. It also features the image of the blood compact. The top of the seal explains the history behind the Sandugo event that occurred in Bohol, the fleet and the location where the Spaniards anchored, and the place where the treaty was conducted, which was dated on March 16, 1565. I always recommend that friends coming to Bohol spend a few nights along the Lobak River. It's a magical corner of the Philippines. The water runs down from the hills and reflects the exotic greens of the abaca ferns growing along the banks. The river snakes to the sea in long, sensuous curves. Small villages and huts are tucked away on the water's edge. There are waterfalls and cold springs, bridges and boats, and trees that glow with fireflies at dusk. The province is a popular tourist destination with its beaches and resorts. The Chocolate Hills, numerous mounds of brown-colored limestone formations, are the most popular attraction. The formations can be seen by land, climbing the highest point, or by air via ultralight air tours. Canglao Island, located just southwest of Tagbilaran, is famous for its diving locations and is routinely listed as one of the top 10 diving locations in the world. A strait separates Bohol from Cebu, and both island provinces share a common language, but the Boholanos retain a conscious distinction from the Cebuanos. The world's smallest primates is indigenous to the island. Lobak Ecotourism Adventure Park is famous for its zip line over the river. The experience you get is not extreme, but it's wonderful. The line runs above the forest, the river and waterfalls I mentioned. The flight lasts about a minute, but it's enough, because the most interesting moments you get in a few seconds. IP line is safe. It has relatively simple design. It's extremely unlikely that something go wrong or break. If you buy a return ticket, you ride on the zip line twice, but this is not the same line. Therefore, do not leave things on the tower where the first line starts, unless you want to climb back to pick them up. A distance from the Lobos River to the adventure park is 3 kilometers. You can go on foot, take a bus towards Carmen City, or take motorbike or tricycle taxi. The last option is the most reasonable, fast and not expensive. The Bohol Forest is a man-made mahogany forest stretching in a 2-kilometer stretch of densely planted mahogany trees located in the border of Lobak and Bilar towns. Before and after this man-made forest are the naturally grown forests of Lobak and Bilar, which are thick with a kaleidoscope of green foliage. The spread of its branches, thickness and design of leaves. Seedlings abound around the older trees. Trunks, some thick and others just a few months old, grow resplendently straight up towards the sky, which is obscured by the branches and the thick leaves. Tarsiers are adorable cute animals with giant eyes and immensely soft fur. You can watch tarsiers in 2 centers in Bohol Island, Tarsier Sanctuary near Karela and Tarsier Conservation Area near Lobak. We chose Tarsier Sanctuary, located in a forest between Karela and Sukatuna cities, because it's a place where tarsiers live in the wild. They are free to do whatever they want, even to leave the territory of the sanctuary. Staff in the center only controls population, treats and feeds, and makes bypassing find tarsiers' current location every morning. Tarsiers are nocturnal animals and they are practically inactive during daytime. Usually they sit at the same place the whole day. Those who were found this morning are shown to tourists this day. The survival of the Philippine tarsier. Also, they have more natural enemies now. Some time ago they were snakes and owls, now even dogs and cats. Tarsiers are protected by a special law prohibiting buying and selling animals. In 1997, Philippine Tarsier Foundation Incorporated was based in Tagbilaran, Bohol Island. Tarsier Sanctuary in Karela mentioned above were created on money of the fund. This center is home for a half of the world population of tarsiers. And it's only 100 animals. The famed chocolate hills of Bohol are not only 2 but more than 1,268 cone-shaped hills, a very strange geological formation that has baffled a lot of geologists. The hills are spread over an area of 50 square kilometers or more and vary in size from 30 meters to 120 meters in height. The chocolate hills appear to be seemingly endless when viewed atop the hill in Carmen town. The viewing deck there gives you a 360 degrees view of the hills as far as the eyes can see. What is unique with these limestone chocolate hills is that they are only covered in grass and the cone shape is more or less common to all, although differing in size. The hills look chocolatey only during dry season when the grass withers and turns into brown and looks like giant chocolate kisses. Grass species found to thrive on the hills are Imperata cylindrical and Saccharum spontaneum and several compositae and ferns. Trees grow on the base of the hills and are lush and verdant rings around the almost bare cone-shaped hills, resulting in its awesome natural beauty. Likewise, the flatlands surrounding the hills are given to rice and corn farming and results in a beautiful green backdrop for the chocolate hills. Elevation ranges from 100 meters to 500 meters above sea level. Higher hills can be found, but almost uniform cone-shaped hills are found in Carmen town. The most acceptable geological theory of the chocolate hills of Bohol is that the hills were the result of thousands of years of weathering of marine limestone. Others say that the hills were formed ages ago by the uplift of coral deposits or that they erupted from the sea in a massive geologic shift. And the action of rainwater and erosion for the past 1,000 years put in the finishing touches. Considered sometimes as the eighth wonder of the world, the Chocolate Hills has been declared as the country's third national geological monument by the National Committee on Geological Sciences on June 18, 1988 in recognition of its special characteristics, scientific importance, uniqueness, and high scenic value. Proclamation No. 1037 was signed to this effect on July 1, 1997, declaring the hills as a natural monument and that they are now covered under the National Integrated Protected Areas System with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources as the lead implementing agency for its protection. The Chocolate Hills of Bohol are spread over an area covering the towns of Sagbayan, Batuan, Carmen, Bilar, Sierra Balones, and Valencia. Most of the hills though are found in Sagbayan, Batuan, and Carmen, the latter having the most uniform cone-shaped hills.